Hi there, this is Ryan Erlacher with LawAbidingBiker.com and your High-Tech Redneck. This is part 2 to the Fox Bomber Glove review. Make sure you see part 1. It was kind of an unboxing. I took them out of the box, went over them, went over the parts, how they feel. In the last month or so, I did a 2,200 mile trip through Washington, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, and regular street riding. Again, I use them on my Harley Street Glide. I don't like leather gloves. If you watch part 1, that's just my my preference. I like these type of gloves. They breathe a lot better. I don't like the typical Harley leather gloves. But I went over that, so see part 1. Now I also put in about another 700 miles on them, so I've got about 3,000 miles on these gloves now through regular street riding. Pretty happy with them, but there are a couple defects that I'm not happy about, and I'm going to show those to you. Something to be aware of. And again, most guys use these. A lot of guys use them for motocross. I would hate to see them use them for motocross because I'm afraid they would come apart. They're pretty good for street riding, but even with street riding, regular use through different climates and different weather, there are a few features that aren't holding up so well. So let me show you that. All right. First thing, hopefully you can see, is right here along this left index finger. It's starting to fray. Right along the seam there, it's starting to fray. The seam's not quite coming apart yet, but I see in time that's going to develop a hole. And it must just be where I grip. It must rub up against somewhere, but you can see that is coming apart, and not real pleased with that with regular street riding. So that's one defect. The other defect I'm going to show you is these right here. These rubber things are really cool on the fingers. They're vents. They have 2 little holes in them, and boy, let me tell you, when you're riding in hot weather, these are really nice. You can get them outside of your fairing and put your fingers to the wind, and you can really feel the air get up inside there and cool your fingers down. Unfortunately, apparently Fox doesn't like to stitch and everything, and they just glued these rubber things down. Well, just regular use, these rubber vents and rubber things on the fingertips are starting to come off. That one's starting to peel off too. You can see the corner of it right there is starting to peel up, and I can tell that they were just glued them down. They certainly should have stitched that. They stitched everything else on the glove for the most part, but I don't know why they wanted to glue these down, because that's what you have. That's the kind of problems you have when you glue things. So I hope they fix that in the future. Other than that, very pleased with the gloves. I don't really have, as far as riding and as far as being very cool and things, very good. But they do have some things that they need to work on, Fox does, on the bomber gloves. And one would be stitching those rubber finger things down, and then working on some kind of reinforcement on the fingers where they rub from your throttle and stuff, so that they don't fray there, and reinforce that stitching a little bit. So anyways, that is part 2 of the review. 3,000 miles on them, just regular street riding on my Harley Street Glide, and hopefully that gives you a little help on whether you want to purchase these things or not. Certainly for that type of money, that stuff shouldn't be happening. The rubber thing shouldn't come off. I'm a little disappointed about that, but I'll keep using them. I bought them, and all right, thanks for checking in, and we really appreciate your guys' support. Make sure and check out LawAbidingBiker.com. Check out all our podcast videos, blogs, and vlogs. Thanks a lot.